reminded.
Of course, as time goes on, we'll have to reassess what positions and what actions we will take.
Time now to reassess. How many more people have to suffer?
I think that by abandoning the case, if that is what you are implying, I don't think that is the result of what we should do. We should continue with the efforts to see how we can convince those who should support us, in this case the UN Security Council, to support the ICC, because I keep reminding that our responsibility, our part of the bargain in this case have been done. And I said it has been, and I think it has been fully done, and that is to investigate the cases and to come out with arrest warrants. The execution of those warrants is not the responsibility of the ICC. You must remember that. We were set up not to execute warrants.
I understand that, but you're taking responsibility for just a tiny portion of this.
That is our duty.
I understand that.
That is the obligation we have.
Your court is defined not by its possibilities, but by its limitations. You have no police force. You have no enforcement mechanism.
Yeah.
You have no support in the Security Council, it seems. Powerful forces against you there. 3 out of 5 of the permanent members, the most powerful members, are not even parties to the Rome Statute. And your warrants are dismissed around the world and not executed by people who have signed binding international agreements to execute them. They're not worth the paper they're written on, are they?
I believe this is incorrect, because we have issued several arrest warrants, and some of them have been executed. Some of them have been executed.
But some of the most important haven't. President al-Bashir of Sudan, for instance.
I do not think any one warrant is more important than another, because they are charged with atrocity crimes, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. Their positions or their official capacity does not matter.
Let's look at President al-Bashir.
What matters is that those crimes have been committed. We've investigated. Just recently, serious crimes have been committed in Mali with respect to the destruction of property. And Niger and Mali work very closely to surrender that individual.
You don't want to talk about President al-Bashir of Sudan, because he travels freely around the world despite your warrant to have him arrested. The latest place he went was South Africa. You told the South Africans to arrest him. They refused to do so. This is a huge blow to your credibility, isn't it? Huge blow.
This I disagree. This is not a blow to the credibility of the ICC.
Again, they simply ignored your warrants.
Again, I must say that this treaty, this court is about duties and responsibilities among states parties and by the court, and by states parties themselves. Again, our responsibility is to investigate the case, request for arrest warrants, and the judges have issued those warrants.
And we need to take your authority seriously, which they didn't do, did they? They didn't take your authority seriously.
South Africa has the responsibility, has the obligation under the statute, has the legal duty to arrest when there is a fugitive on its soil.
Which they have that responsibility. And you were deeply disappointed.
I am disappointed. I am
deeply disappointed. And with the Security Council that took no action either.
I am disappointed. And what we were supposed to do again, with respect to that, I believe the court has done. But what is positive in this, Tim, you have to remember, is that the South African judicial system itself took up the responsibility to oblige the authorities to arrest.
You're like the surgeon who comes to a patient. The patient dies, and you're saying, "But it was a great operation. It was a great operation. We did a great job, but the patient died." You didn't get the result you wanted.
I do not.
This was a failure for the ICC.
It is not a failure for the ICC, because that responsibility.
Your warrant was ignored.
No, that responsibility is not ours. We did not ignore the warrant. It's South Africa that has an obligation.
They don't take your warrant seriously. This is a big problem to your credibility.
I think it is a simplistic way of looking at things. It is really not actually the fault of the ICC, because I tried to explain to you that the ICC was set up like that, We don't have these powers, and you have recognized it. We don't have the powers of arrest.
You had in Africa 34 countries, I think, that signed up to the Rome Statute.
Yes.
And now you have Africans, time and again, African leaders saying this court isn't for us. We had President Museveni of Uganda saying at the end of 2014, I supported the court at first, he said, but they've turned it into a vessel for oppressing Africa, so I'm done with that court. Kenyan Foreign Minister, they're treating us like toddlers. Africa feels marginalized. On your watch, you as an African, you're losing Africa. You're losing Africa's participation in this court.
I don't think I am.
That's a central blow to the credibility of this court.
I do not think that the voices of a few leaders or a few people from Africa should be used to disregard the support that we still have in Africa. We do have support in Africa. As I told you, just recently, we were an individual was arrested by Africans and surrendered to